Start of the afternoon with the security operatives in the troubled town of Bokua crying out for help as they bemoan what they say is a targeted attack on them. The Boko conflict spanning decades has deteriorated over the past few weeks, with at least 3 persons killed in the last 24 hours, and the numbers rising over the last few months, with essential workers fleeing the town, being deserted. Security operatives sent to deal with the escalation. 3FM understands, and now the targeted group. An officer who spoke anonymously to my colleague Mawin Egbeta said they cannot even buy water for their camp. For anonymity purposes, this is the voice we'll play to you as the voice of the security officer who spoke with my colleague Eric Mawin Egbeta.
I'm listening. So I'm just putting this across, and with time, I'll take much time and talk to you. I'm on duty right now. Sure. But I'm just talking. We are demoralized. Everybody is scared. Wow. We cannot move out. We cannot go anywhere. We just want to go buy water for the officers. We cannot go.
And there's nobody you can report to, like superiors who can help out. Like nobody comes around to do.
We are just tired. We are tired. Joseph is my former classmate. He used to be my classmate at University of Ghana. Oh. And I've been keeping this to myself for long. But I feel like today I'm tired. At least I should try and say something.
And so that's the voice, or the muffled voice, of one of the officers in the Boko area, speaking with my colleague Eric Mawin Egbeta, clearly saying that they are tired. Now they feel that they are now being targeted. Well, the Upper East Regional Minister Donato Zakamburi at Tanga, he has meanwhile called on security personnel deployed to Boko and its surrounding areas not to abandon their post, but to request additional logistical support to come back to the ongoing conflict in the region. Speaking on Sunrise Morning Show following the tragic loss of lives of 2 police officers, the minister emphasized the critical role of security forces in maintaining peace and urged them to remain steadfast despite the challenges there.
I think if you talk about protecting the police, the way you can protect them is that if they have body armor and then they have the helmets, that and then armor cars, that can help them be able to contain crime. But when you get into those services, you are not put into those services only for you to be at a place where there is no issue. You are put into those services because there's a need for you. When there's a conflict, you should go and resolve. So I would rather think that the police will only call for what they can use to protect themselves in the situations like that. And that one we have made, the RESEC has made call on the Interior Minister. And just last week, they had brought some, just inadequate in a way. And but we think that they're still continuing to supply. And so I would rather encourage that the police should rather see that an area where there's a conflict, that is the more reason why they have been recruited into the security services to protect those areas. And so if anybody is calling that he should be released from an area where they need him most, I don't think that is the right way to go.
But
so
Minister,
I think that the authorities should rather try to see if you are there to protect. You should not be doing it at the peril of your life.
Exactly.
It should be armed in a manner that when you are there to protect others, you yourself should be protected. That is what I can be looking at. That's the police personnel. Mm-hmm. We have made a strong case that they should be given protective clothing, so that they will be able to perform their duty there, so that it will not be at the peril of their lives. And so just last week, 2 armor cars came in, and then I understand there are some other equipment. So these are not attempts that you can be mentioning on radio. Mm-hmm. So because for security reasons, but they are trying to respond to those things so that they will be able to contain the robbery issues over there. But I am saying that it is rather unfortunate that when there's a place that you need the service of the personnel, they rather will call and say that they should let them leave the place. They should rather call and say that they should try to provide them all the necessary equipment that will make them defend the people or pursue their career without doing it at the peril of their lives. That is my position on the issue.
That's the voice of the Upper East Regional Minister Donatus Akamugri Atanga speaking there. Well, the minister has also said calls for state of emergency, for the declaration of a state of emergency in the area, those calls are immature. Let's speak to Adib Saani, a security analyst, on the back of this. Mr. Saani, thank you so much for holding the line for us. Now, we have seen 2 policemen killed in what the police statement is saying is a robbery incident. Now, my question to you is, from residents themselves now to police officers, how worrying is this issue?
Well, I think the police was so quick to come out with a statement. I, as a criminal researcher, feel a lot more investigation should have been done for the police to draw conclusion. Because as it stands, it becomes very difficult to tell whether it is a robbery incident or it is related to the chieftaincy dispute. Because I do know that there are cases where hitmen would go into a house, kill, and make it look like it was a struggle, because they would destroy the items in the room. They would pick up some few items and make it look like there was a struggle during a robbery or a random act of violence. Meanwhile, it was targeted, okay? So a whole lot of complexities go into this, but surely it is very worrying. It beats my imagination how those 2 young looking, I've seen their pictures, gentlemen can be killed in such a despicable, such a dastardly and very gruesome fashion. I've seen the videos, and trust me, I regretted even seeing the videos because I was ambushed. Someone sent it to me. They didn't give a caveat. I just opened it, and lo and behold, I saw it. It is shocking, and I'm hoping that the police would conduct, together with other security services, an elaborate investigation into the matter and the perpetrators brought to book. But I've always indicated, Crosby, that, you see, beyond the chieftaincy, there are criminal elements. I'm not saying what happened is a case of, criminal actors. It can be anything, okay? But there are persons who are taking advantage of the whole conflict to perpetrate other forms of criminality. I remember some time ago, I had a meeting with the then National Security Minister, Honorable Albert Kandakba, and he explained, particularly on a certain incident where someone was killed, only for investigation to reveal it was land-related. It was a land dispute within the same family, okay? So we need to be very cautious in order not to inflame passions and in order not to push people into staging retribution.
Adib, will calls for the declaration of a state of emergency in the area, will those calls be justified? Now, that is despite the fact that we have curfew in the area and it seems not to be working.
The curfew is almost the same as a state of emergency, because surely movement is limited. At 6 p.m., you are asked to go inside and only come out at 6 a.m. It's very similar to state of emergency. But one thing is for sure, state of emergencies don't solve the issue. It is only an opportunity to stop the belligerence whilst you explore other options. So for anyone to think that a state of emergency is what is going to solve this, then the person doesn't really understand the dynamics in the area. So sure, if the state of emergency has to be imposed, why not? But let's be mindful of the fact that we need to complement it with other strategies.
Adib Saani, thank you so much for speaking with us on the program. Adib Saani is a security analyst who made time for us there. This is a subject to be paying attention to, be bringing you details in the subsequent bulletins. But now, the Ashanti South Regional Police Command, it has announced a major breakthrough in its fight against violent crime after a deadly shootout with suspected notorious armed robbery gang responsible for multiple attacks on miners, motorists, and even a bank in the region. 4 suspects, the robbers, they have been gunned down at Sanfo as part of efforts to bring crime down. The police in the region say they will continue to pursue criminals and the accomplices to ensure the safety of residents. Ibrahim Abubakar is joining us with more details after a press briefing at Bekwa. Ibrahim, thank you for joining us. What more have the police been saying about these operations?
Well, Crosby, this gang led by one something alias Tuga and WK, who is an ex-convict from Edubiase, according to the police, have been terrorizing residents in Fomena, Dompoase, and its surrounding areas. All these areas are within the Adansi North District of Ashanti region. And between February 15 to when they were killed, that was on April 12, they have committed or they are suspected to be involved in about 6 major robberies within the district alone. And mostly they target miners and also banks. For instance, on February 15 rather, and they are suspected to be the ones who ambushed some miners traveling between Agugoso and Adukwe. They shot at their victims and made away with gold worth 150,000 cedis. Then on February 16, another attack on mining sites. And this around, there was even a police shootout, and they ended up shooting an officer, and they even stole his AK-47 rifle and an amount of 200,000 Ghana cedis. Then on March 14, they also attacked some Chinese miners. April 5, they attacked 2 small-scale miners at their site, shot at them, and also made away with gold worth 80,000 Ghana cedis. Then on April 10, they attacked the Adansi Rural Bank. This time around, they stole unspecified amount of money and also stole 2 pump-action guns that belonged to the security there. On April 11, some 7 passenger vehicles were also attacked around Akrokere, around Kwanta stretch, and the passengers were robbed. So on April 12, the police said upon their intelligence, they tracked these suspects down to Sanfo, where they saw them, and upon seeing them, these suspects started firing at them. So there was a fierce gun battle that ensued between them and resulting in the shooting of 5 of these suspects. 4 died at the hospital, whilst 1 is currently receiving treatment at the Bekwa government hospital. And the police is giving that assurance that they will make sure that they rid the entire area of criminal elements and keep the sanity of the area. And they are also appealing to residents to give them vital information that will lead to the arrest of similar criminals, because they believe that these 6 or these 5 who were shot are not the only ones. They have accomplices, and they are doing everything possible to track down these accomplices and make sure that the people who are living within the Adansi enclave do so and transact their business in a safe environment.
Ibrahim, thank you so much for that detailed reporting. Ibrahim Abubakar is our Ashanti regional correspondent speaking with us there. To some other stories this afternoon, the Minister for Energy and Green Transition, John Jinapo, has expressed serious concerns over the increasing rate of power theft in the northern region, especially the Greater Tamale metropolis. According to him, over 70% of residents in the Greater Tamale metropolis are engaged in illegal connections, leading to millions of cedis in revenue losses to the Northern Electricity Distribution Company. The minister warned that the northern region may face a blackout in power supply if the situation is not immediately addressed. John Jinapo is currently in the northern region to engage with some key stakeholders on how to collaborate to ensure the power distribution company is able to mobilize revenue and also prevent power losses. My colleague Christopher Marco, he is with the minister. He's joining us with some more updates. Chris, thank you for joining us. First of all, tell us, how worrying is the issue of power theft, or how rampant is it in the region?
Yes, so Crosby, I can confirm to you that according to the power distribution company, that is the Northern Electricity Distribution Company Limited, the power theft situation in the region is very severe because a lot of illegal connections ongoing in the region, especially the Tamale metropolis, leading to revenue losses for the company. Last year, there was a mass illegal connection detection team led by the Northern Electricity Company Distribution, where most houses were identified as using illegal connection, and so the company took most of them to court and they were fined some money. So according to the minister, this time round they are going to ensure that revenue mobilization is enhanced, illegal connections are detected, and culprits will be dealt with, so that the company will be able to rake in more revenue for power stability.
Right, I see, Chris. Now, before you take leave of us, what else has the minister been saying about improving power supply in the region?
Yes, so first of all, there are some two substations that are being constructed to enhance power supply in the northern parts of the country. One at Adobili, around Lamashego in the Greater Tamale metropolis. So when this project is completed, they will hook areas like Salaga and other communities within the Tamale enclave to this substation, so that it will enhance the power supply to ensure stable power distribution to the area. We also know about the power supply from Tamale, Yendi, Bimbila up to Ketekrachi in the Bosa region, and so the minister is also giving the assurances that all these substations will be worked on to enhance power supply. But the issue of illegal connection, which is a major concern for the minister, is something that he's engaging stakeholders this afternoon. He has so far met with the paramount chief of Tamale, that is the Bupena. He's also met with the Lamashaguna. He'll be meeting other business community and other people, so that they will find measures of ensuring that the issues of illegal connection is addressed in the metropolis.
Christopher, thank you so much for bringing us those updates. Christopher Marcus speaking to us from the northern region there. Now, President John